Situationships. You ever find yourself texting somebody every day, calling them your baby? Y'all spending so much time with each other to the point where it's like, yo, this is my girlfriend or boyfriend. Whenever y'all are together, it's always a great time. And when you turn your brain off, you really start to think for a second like, yo, I love this relationship. But then you think to yourself, wait a minute, I'm single. Y'all really just rolling off the vibes for real. There's no title, there's no commitment. That, my friends, is what we call a situationship. And if you're stuck in one, you guys already know how confusing and annoying it is. That should be goddamn draining. It feels like you're in a relationship, but you're not. You get that late night combos, the emotional support. Some of y'all even be getting that intimacy cracking. But when that question comes up, what are we? All of a sudden, everybody looking around like,
what you mean? I like you a lot, but...
Here's the truth, man. They can feel really casual, but they really mess with your head. I'd be lying to tell y'all if I said I've never dealt with it before. I definitely have. It sucks, bro. It really does. Because a lot of times you go and get your heart involved with somebody that is not making you a priority. And sometimes it could even be genuine from both sides, but somebody or both of y'all just aren't ready to make that commitment. Situationships strive on vagueness. One or both of you are avoiding the commitment, but you guys still really value the connection. You're afraid to walk away thinking to yourself, oh yeah, maybe one day they'll come around. I'm gonna give it some more time. This shit gonna work out for sure. But one thing is for sure, man, most people already know what they want. So if you're in the beginning phases, you can definitely feel it out. But after a while, if somebody wanted to be with you, they'd make that shit clear as day. So in today's video, we're gonna be reacting to Situationships Don't Make Sense by my dog, Chaluti. I think that's how it's pronounced. My bad if I'm getting it wrong. We're gonna listen to what he has to say, break his shit down. I'm gonna give you guys my feedback, and you already know what it is. Let's get right into it.
Alright, let's get something straight here. Relationships, that's when two people are together. Being single, that's when you're not with anyone. But now, what is a situationship? It's such a weird middle ground. The definition doesn't even have a real definition. Like if you Google it, it'll say something like a romantic relationship between two people where the nature of a connection is not clearly defined. So basically, you're doing things in a relationship without being in a relationship. Huh? Situationships have always been a thing, but it's become more common nowadays. Usually people that are single aren't actually single. They're more so in a talking stage or going on dates with other people.
Yeah.
And back then, asking out someone was a lot different. You had to go outside and approach someone in real life. And let's be honest, you're not one of those TikTok guys who rizz up college girls, okay?
The reality is, man, I think it's a great skill for any man to develop to be able to approach a woman. Me personally, I don't like doing it. And it's not so much rooted in the fact that I'm scared or nervous. I just don't like bothering people. I like having organic interactions. So even if I see a girl that I think is cute in public, my initial reaction isn't gonna be like, oh, let me just go jump on her right now, because I don't know her. I don't know what she got going on, if she's on the phone. But again, these are great skills that I think any man should acquire. I've done my time, I've done my reps, so I know it's not something that I can't do, but it's just something that I don't really like to do. I like to mind my business, keeping it a stack.
But luckily, nowadays you can find baddies on baddies swiping your phone through a dating app and shoot your shot from the comfort of your...
I'm not mad at anybody bagging on social media, but I feel like the best way to do it is in person. And that might sound hypocritical, but like I said, it's not so much that you can't approach somebody or you shouldn't. I'm just saying, me personally, I like it to be organic. So for example, if I'm like seeing a girl at the gym and every time I see her, I'm like, oh, she look good, or I want to holler at her. Me, I'm gonna set it up to where I have an organic interaction. So like, it might sound a little bit stalkerish, cringe, but I might just keep my eye on her, and see maybe if she's heading over to the water fountain or something, I'm gonna make my way over to the water fountain. Boom, now I bump into her, and now it's just like a more organic situation. I can't make all... I guess I could make up a situation off the top of my head, but it's like, I see her, I might just hit her with a, oh, hey, you know what I'm saying? Rather than going up to her at the dumbbells, or when she's mid squat press about to fucking crush under 300 pounds, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like there's always a way to make it feel smooth and organic and not forced. That's how I like to go about it. But again, bro, there's also nothing wrong with just being polite, tapping someone on the shoulder and say, hey, excuse me,
your own home. And with the use of social media and dating apps, the access for finding someone has become more open and available. So now, dating becomes easy.
What happened?
On the surface, this seems to be a good thing. More options, more people to choose from. So you can really narrow down what you want as your partner instead of the limited choices you had without social media. But it doesn't work like that. It's like when a waiter gives you a menu at a restaurant. The menu is simple, there are options here and there, and in a few minutes you can pick out what you like. But what happens when you get handed out an essay for a menu? The menu has 100 different entree choices, 100 different flavors and toppings, and at first you came here to order some pasta, but now you just don't know. That's how situationships were compared to now, because when dating becomes easier, committing becomes harder.
That's a really interesting perspective. The thing is, especially in today's age, especially with women, they have so many options. So it's like, why would I commit to one man? Especially when these girls out here tricking. These girls be out here tricking on niggas like, oh, why would I commit to one man when I got a roster of niggas that's gonna buy me this, pay for that, do that. At the end of the day, don't let that fool you into thinking that there's not good women out here. So that's definitely a great observation. I agree with that.
But that doesn't stop people from still wanting to find that one person.
Yeah.
So you may have gotten yourself in a situationship before, and you actually come to find that it's kind of fun. You're out getting food, going to new places together, holding hands. It's a good period of time where you can enjoy getting to know someone without the pressure. Then, a few months go by.
And you fall
You
in
realize,
love.
wait, we're doing all this couple stuff. Things have been going
I
well.
love this hoe.
Why not take things a little more serious and see how things go? And the moment you decide to do that is the moment they disappear from your life. This gotta be the top 5 most confusing things in your life. You can both acknowledge that you like each other, have late night deep convos, and have a base level of physical intimacy, but when you ask that question of, what are we? You get hit with the buffer wheel.
Bro, the thing is, it's like, again, I kind of said it in the intro of the video, but if somebody wants you, they're going to make that clear. Every time I've ever been in a situationship, I wasn't the victim. I was the one that was essentially playing the games, right? I've always made it clear, and, you know, it's just like, look, I like you. I rock with you. I really do care about you, but I don't want to be in a relationship. I feel like it can come off as toxic because on one end, I would keep showing up and entertaining the situationship, knowing that they wanted more than that. But on the other end, I feel like I'm being so transparent and be like, look, I don't want a relationship. I'm not trying to force you to stay. I'm not trying to force you to go, you know, and it just puts you in a weird place. Learning from that experience, the best advice I can give you as a man is you just got to stand on business, and sometimes you have to not be selfish and break that person's heart. You know, it's different if it's on equal levels, where it's like, oh, we're both just having fun, you know, let's just see where it goes. We're not putting too much pressure. That's one thing. But if y'all are both like really intimate, really in the shit together, but you know she's like, I want more, or vice versa, if you're a woman, you gotta let that nigga go, bro, or you gotta let her go. Yeah, you're gonna break her heart. Yeah, you don't even want to do that because you actually enjoy hanging out with them, but you're just like leading them on. And if you already know in your head that it's never going to be nothing, it's really going to always end in tragedy. There's no right way to exit. Sometimes there's no right time to just pull the band-aid off. Like, it's going to hurt. And the longer you leave it on, you know what I'm saying, the worse it's going to hurt. So you might as well just rip that bitch off. You know, once you've made up your mind that it's not going to happen, you just got to rip that band-aid off. But that's, you know, part of growing up, being mature and understanding that, look, like, you can't be this burden to somebody's life, holding them back because they can go find somebody else. Somebody that's actually going to give them the time and day that they deserve. That's just being a man, honestly. And being a woman. Like, women can be the one that's kind of fucking over the niggas too, you know, leading them on and, you know, having the intimacy, but you don't really want nothing serious like that. So y'all just got to be the bigger person, bro.
Not to mention, the idea of a situationship is a purgatory between being in a relationship, but also not being in one. And other people can feel different ways and do different things because there isn't necessarily a boundary, and someone might feel like they can do whatever they want freely, and others feel like they should be restricted to do certain things. This sort of uncertainty makes the boundary line confusing.
Yeah.
On one hand, someone can technically go out with other people because they're still single, and the other person can't really say anything about it because you guys aren't officially dating. It gets messy. But But I personally say that people shouldn't be going out with others if they're in a situationship. It's like a
Well, I'll say this. I remember in my situationship, I was like, you could do whatever you want, but just out of respect, like, I'm not gonna be mad at you. Like, it's not gonna be on no like fuck you energy. But if I see you fucking with somebody else, like, don't talk to me no more. And that's toxic as fuck. Again, I was wrong in the scenario, and I let that shit on to go on for much longer than I should have. But it's like, I didn't want to let it go either. And that's why I'm trying to tell y'all, like, y'all got to be the bigger person. Just dead that shit. Once you've made up your mind, just dead it.
test period to see if this person's actually worth committing to. And if you start going out with other people, it's going to hint that you aren't worth it if your eyes are elsewhere. But the whole thing about this phase is that they blur the line between effort and expectations. You don't really know whether you're supposed to be acting like the boyfriend or girlfriend or just be nonchalant. Because if you go all in doing all the boyfriend stuff, planning the dates, thoughtful gifts, you're basically handing out relationship benefits without the commitment. And there's no incentive to make it official. Also, you come off as desperate. On the other hand, if you don't put in enough effort, you're not going to secure them either. You're going to seem like you aren't taking things seriously and that you don't care that much. So, what are you supposed to do here? I'm asking you guys because I genuinely don't know.
I think I already said it, bro. I think I already said it. Like, I don't... You kind of have to have, like, guidelines. So if you're the person that feels like you're being led on, there has to be like a breaking point. So you're in the situationship, you really like this person says they really like you, but they're kind of, giving you that, I'm not sure if I want to commit. Don't listen to what people only say. Also listen to their actions. Some people will leave the situationships and say shit like, oh, I want to be in a relationship, I want this, but it never happens. You know what I mean? So I feel like you have to have a level of grace period of feeling it out. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, when you're getting to know somebody and you're dating them, there's nothing wrong with kind of being in the bullshit for a little bit. But at the same time, you also have to be able to analyze, like, hold up, we've been talking, going back and forth for 2-3 months, and we keep having this conversation. 2-3 months is kind of short, but maybe 4 or 5 months is kind of long though. So you got to find your own, like, what are you willing to give? How much time are you willing to waste on this person? Like, they want X expectation. They want this expectation. Like, shit, they want all of me, but they don't want the commitment. The best thing you could do, again, even as the person that's being led on, you got to walk away. Even more important, if you threaten to walk away, not even threaten, you finally grow the balls to be like, yo, I'm done with this. I'm holding my own. I'm done. And you walk away. If that person submits right in that moment, like, no, don't leave. I want to like make it official. Do not lock in with that person, bro. That's like the fullest level of toxic. It's one thing to be like, what kind of my situation? Like, I don't want a relationship. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? And, I'm really making that clear. If we do go separate ways, it's unfortunate, but, that's what it's going to be, versus the person that will literally just cling on to you, and then once it hits the breaking point, then they'll reel you back in, because what that shows is like, they're fake as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not even at least standing on what they said. They said they didn't want something, but now that you're ready to walk away, they want to commit. It's kind of like, okay, that shows like a level of immaturity, a level of like insecurity, almost like, if it's not me, you can't be with nobody. Like, I don't want to see you happy with nobody else, so I'm just gonna snatch you up before you go. Don't let no desperate shit fool you either.
Like and subscribe if you made it this far into the video. Situationships also have this weird phenomenon where it can hurt more than an actual breakup. Because you're not sad over the person, you're sad over the idea of them. You never got to see their flaws like you would in a real relationship. So there were no fights over little things, no issues you would see until things went long term. It's just like a highlight reel. So when it ends, you're just left with the potential of what it could have been. The what if. And the what if is what gets to you because you'll never actually see it play out since the situationship never went into a relationship.
Yeah.
But probably the biggest issue with situationships isn't the situationships itself, but the people in them. Most people in a situationship aren't fully ready to be in a relationship. You'll come to find that there's a lot of people with this attachment style where they're too avoidant to commit, but too anxious to be alone. They want a relationship, but don't want the responsibility. They want a cute dog. They don't want to clean their shit off the carpet. And a situationship is like dog sitting where you enjoy the puppy love, but you don't have the responsibility of owning the dog. And some people just go on dates simply because they're scared of being alone. We've all seen these people who freshly just got out of a relationship, and they have this bright idea to hop onto dating apps right away, then jump to talking to someone new and convince themselves they're just having fun. But at the end of the day, they're still crying over their ex.
One thing I will say, which was kind of my situation, where it's like I felt like I jumped out of a relationship and then ended up in a situationship. That's why I didn't want to make it official, because it was like I just got out of a relationship. Like I need time to just be me. What you really have to do is you just need to be by yourself. Like, I know it can be lonely. I know it can be like, damn, you know, I want to have intimacy with somebody. You know, I want to experience something with somebody, and, you know, just somebody to be with, just a company, whatever, however you want to like kind of fill that void. But the reality is, like, if you can't learn to love and be by yourself, you're always going to be the type of person that's reliant. Like, oh, I need someone to be happy. I need someone feel fulfilled. And I genuinely feel like that's the worst thing you can do as a man or a woman, because the best relationships is when two fulfilled people, two people that are 100% secure with themselves, come together, pretty much make it even better, versus this person's fulfilled, this person is feeling empty, and the neediness, then all of a sudden, now I feel like this other person's sucking all your energy, because it's like they're leeching essentially. So the best relationships come when two people are, for the most part, fulfilled with each other. Now you guys can make each other better equally. You know, it's not going to be necessarily be like equal value exchange, because you're going to be better at some things, they're going to be better at other things. But at very least, when y'all are coming together, it's not like trying to fix all your holes and baggage. It's like, nah, like we are in this together for real. And I think that is very important.
They try to outrun their feelings by filling the empty space with someone new.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's why I feel like being alone is what a person might actually need.
So as I said, man,
Sitting with your own thoughts, processing things, and taking time to focus on yourself. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. And emotionally, you'll come out on top. Because if you can't handle your own company, why are you so desperate for someone else's? The saying is true, where you need to love yourself first before you can love anybody else.
come on, man. Come on, man. I'm really saying that shit. I said that shit before he even said it. Boy, I'm trying to tell you.
By the way, I'm just a spectator here. I've been single for a while now, and I recently upgraded to Single Pro Max. So maybe I shouldn't be saying anything, but this is what I've been noticing. To be fair, situationships can work if both people want the same thing. If you're both genuinely on the same page, feeling each other out, taking it slow, and when the right time comes, you can talk about taking things further and it will work out.
You know, that's true. But I will also say people will agree and be like, yeah, we're both on the same page. And then it will be nice for a minute. But 9 times out of 10 in situationships, somebody kind of likes one person more than the other.
A situationship should be fun, but it can't last forever.
Yeah.
Eventually, you have to ask yourself, is this going anywhere or am I just stalling?
And that's kind of what I was saying with like the breaking point. Like, it's cool to be in the bullshit for a little bit, but you gotta at some point, all right, I've been here for X amount of time and it's not going anywhere. You gotta stand on something or fall for anything. Basic stuff, yo.
Because if you're not careful, you'll spend months stuck into something that was never meant to last. And the longer you stay, the harder it is to walk away. Bars. So be real with yourself. If it's not leading to anything, then what's the point?
I think it was a great video, so I'm gonna like and subscribe, and you should do the same for this channel. Let me know if you guys appreciated this type of video. I know it's something different here on the channel, but you know, just trying to get more content out for you guys. And I thought, you know what, I've said so much on how to get women, how to talk to girls, how not to be the nice guys. Like, let me try something new and see if I can dissect or add more value to what some of these other guys are saying. So I'm really excited to see y'all feedback, see if y'all enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next one. My name's Berto.
Where you at, Berto?